Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring manifestation and how to actually make it work for you.
Yeah. It's a topic that's super buzzy right now, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of information out there.
So much, yeah.
But we're going to try to cut through the noise and get to the heart of what really matters. And for this deep dive, we're going to be looking at a YouTube video by Chosen144.
Yeah, he's got this really interesting and I think kind of unique perspective on how to turn thoughts into reality.
Right. So, what does it actually take to manifest the things we want?
Exactly.
So, what stood out to me was Chosen144's emphasis on the mental aspect of manifestation.
Like the power of thought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's very clear that everything starts with thought.
He actually says, and I'm quoting here, everything starts with thought. The universe is mental.
Hmm. That's a pretty bold statement, right?
Yeah, it definitely got my attention.
Wow.
Whoa, are we saying that our thoughts literally create the universe?
It's not quite that simple, but it does point to a deeper truth about the nature of reality.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, there's this idea in philosophy and even in modern physics that consciousness might be more fundamental to reality than we realize.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is getting deep.
It is. But it's fascinating to consider, right?
It is for sure.
So if consciousness is in some way shaping reality, then our thoughts, which are like the building blocks of consciousness, have a much bigger impact than we might think.
Hmm. Okay. So how do we harness this power of thought to manifest the things we want in our lives?
Well, Chosen 144 talks about a few different techniques.
Yeah.
One of them is writing letters to your future self.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. You
From
basically write a letter as if you've already achieved the thing you want to manifest.
Right. It's all about vividly imagining your desired outcome as if it's already happened.
And really feeling the emotions of having achieved it?
Exactly. It's about creating a strong, energetic imprint of what you want.
Okay, that makes sense. So what other techniques does he mention?
He also talks about something called water programming.
Water programming? I'm not sure I've
Mhm.
heard of that.
Yeah, it's the idea that you can infuse water with your intentions.
Like asking it to boost your creativity or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Or even to promote healing.
Hmm. It sounds a little bit like magic.
I know, right? But some people believe that water has this ability to hold and transmit energy.
Interesting. So you basically focus your intention on the water and then drink it.
Right. The idea is that by doing that, you're essentially imprinting the water with a specific vibration that then affects you on a subtle level.
Okay, I'm open to trying it.
Hmm.
But Chosen 144 is pretty clear that manifestation isn't just about thinking happy thoughts, right?
Absolutely. He's a big advocate for action.
Yeah. He talks about inspired action.
Exactly. It's not just about any action, but action that's aligned with your intentions.
Like if you're trying to manifest a new job, it's not just about sending out random resumes, but really following the opportunities that feel right.
Right. It's about trusting your gut and taking those leaps of faith that feel aligned with your soul's purpose.
So it's like the universe is whispering opportunities to you, but you have to be ready to listen and take action.
Exactly. And sometimes those whispers might be subtle, so it's important to be aware and pay attention.
This brings us to another important concept that Chosen 144 emphasizes: shadow work.
Ah, yes, shadow work. This is so crucial.
It is. It's basically about confronting those subconscious beliefs that might be holding us back.
Right, like those deep-seated fears and insecurities that we might not even be aware of.
Yeah, and Chosen 144 is really passionate about this. He believes that shadow work is essential for creating lasting change.
I agree. It's like clearing out the weeds in our mental garden so that the seeds of our desires can take root and flourish.
So how do we actually do this shadow work? How do we unearth these limiting beliefs?
That's a question we'll delve into further, but for now, just know that it's a process of self-exploration and it often requires some deep introspection.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper. Let's explore how to unlock that potential.
Let's do it. It's amazing to think about how much power we have over our own reality.
I know, right? It's like
Well-
we're just starting to scratch the surface of what's possible.
Yeah, totally. And Jason 144 talks a lot about the need to reprogram ourselves for abundance. What does that really mean?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. How do we actually shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance?
Well, it's about changing those deep-seated beliefs that we might have about money success, even just our own worthiness.
So like those old tapes that say, I can't afford that, or I'm not lucky enough.
Exactly. We have to replace those tapes with new ones that say, I am abundant, I am worthy, I am a magnet for success.
It's like rewiring our brains for abundance.
Exactly. And the cool thing is there's actually a scientific basis for this. It's called neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. Remind me what that is again?
It's basically the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout our lives. It's not fixed. We
Hmm.
can literally rewire our brains by changing our thoughts and beliefs.
So the more we focus on abundance, the more we strengthen those neural pathways in our brains, making it easier to attract more abundance into our lives.
Precisely. It's like working out a muscle.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Okay, that makes sense. But Chosen 144 also emphasizes that it's not just about positive thinking. It's about taking action, too.
Right? Absolutely. He talks about inspired action, which means aligning our actions with our intentions and following those intuitive nudges that guide us towards our goals.
So it's not just about any action, but action that feels aligned with our soul's purpose. Like if we're trying to manifest a new career, it's not just about sending out random resumes, but following the opportunities that truly light us up.
Exactly. It's about trusting our gut and taking those leaps of faith that feel right.
Hmm. Okay. And sometimes those nudges might come in unexpected ways.
Right? Absolutely. It could be a chance encounter, a random book, you pick up a conversation with a stranger. The universe works in mysterious ways.
So we need to be open to receiving guidance from unexpected sources.
Yes. And be willing to step outside of our comfort zones and take risks.
This brings us back to the idea of shadow work, confronting those subconscious beliefs that might be holding us back.
Yeah, shadow work is so important because those limiting beliefs can really sabotage our efforts to manifest.
It's like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on.
Exactly. We might make some progress, but we'll never reach our full potential until we release those brakes.
So how do we actually do this shadow work?
Well, it starts with awareness. Becoming aware of the negative thoughts and beliefs that are running through our minds.
So like noticing when we say things to ourselves like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be able to achieve that.
Exactly. Once we're aware of those thoughts, we can start to challenge them. Ask ourselves, is this really true? Where did this belief come from? Does it serve me?
It's like shining a light on those limiting beliefs and taking away their power.
Exactly. And then we can start to replace them with more empowering beliefs.
So using affirmations would be helpful here.
Right. Yes, affirmations can be a powerful tool. But it's important to not just mindlessly repeat them. We need to really feel them and believe them.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but the energy and emotion behind them.
Right. It's about shifting our entire vibration to align with what we want to manifest.
I'm starting to see how all of this fits together. It's not just about wishing for things. It's about becoming the kind of person who attracts those things naturally.
Exactly. It's about embodying the energy of what we want to manifest.
Okay, so we're becoming aware of our limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering ones, taking inspired action, and trusting in the universe to support us. But what about those times when we hit roadblocks or face setbacks? How do we stay positive
Yeah,
and keep our faith strong?
that's a great question. And it leads us to another key aspect that Chosen 144 emphasizes, the importance of gratitude.
Gratitude. How does that fit into manifestation?
Well, gratitude is a powerful energy that shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have.
So instead of dwelling on what we don't have, we're focusing on what we're grateful for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by doing that, we raise our vibration and align ourselves with the frequency of abundance.
It's like we're sending a message to the universe saying, hey, we're happy with what we have, and we're open to receiving more.
Precisely. It's a powerful way to attract more good things into our lives.
I can see how that would be helpful in overcoming challenges. Because even when things aren't going as planned, there's always something to be grateful for.
Right. Gratitude helps us to stay connected to the flow of abundance even when we're facing difficulties.
This is all making so much sense to me now. It's not just about techniques or tricks. It's about a whole way of being.
Absolutely. It's about lining our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with what we want to create.
And trusting that the universe has our back.
Exactly. It's about surrendering to something bigger than ourselves and having faith that everything is unfolding as it should.
This has been such an enlightening conversation. I'm feeling so inspired.
Me too. Chosen 144 really offers a fresh perspective on manifestation.
And speaking of fresh perspectives, there's one more aspect of his approach that I'm curious to explore.
Oh, and what's that?
He talks about the role of faith in manifestation. But what does faith really mean in this context? And how do we cultivate it when we're faced with doubt and uncertainty?
Those are great questions, and ones that we'll delve into in the final part of our deep dive.
Yeah, he makes a really interesting point about how important faith is in the whole process. But I think it's one of those things that can be kind of hard to grasp. Like, what does faith actually mean when it comes to manifestation?
Right. It's not just about like blind optimism or hoping for the best, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think Chosen 144 is talking about a deeper kind of faith, like a trust in the unseen, a belief that the universe is working in our favor even when we can't see the evidence yet.
Okay. So it's about surrendering to something bigger than ourselves and having that conviction that we're being guided and supported even when things get tough.
Exactly. It's about knowing deep down that what we desire is already on its way to us.
But how do we cultivate that kind of faith, especially when we're hit with challenges or setbacks? It's easy to let doubt creep in when things aren't going as planned. You're right, it's not always easy. But I think this is where all the work we've been talking about comes in. The mindset shifts, the shadow work, the inspired action. When we're actively working on aligning our inner world with our desires, it naturally strengthens our faith.
So it's like a positive feedback loop. The more we align our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, the more evidence we see. And that fuels our belief even more.
Exactly. And remember, faith isn't about ignoring the challenges. It's about acknowledging them,
Yeah.
but choosing to believe in a positive outcome regardless.
It's like trusting that even if things don't unfold exactly as we planned, there's a higher purpose at play that's guiding us toward something even better.
Exactly. And that's where intuition comes in. Those nudges we were talking about earlier, those whispers of guidance from the universe. When we have faith, we're more likely to trust our intuition and take those leaps of faith that can lead to amazing breakthroughs.
So faith and intuition go hand in hand.
They do. They're both about trusting in something beyond our limited human understanding.
It's like surrendering to the mystery of life and allowing ourselves to be guided by something greater than ourselves.
Exactly. And when we do that, we open ourselves up to infinite possibilities.
Wow. This has been such a powerful conversation. I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of what it truly means to manifest.
Do too. It's not just about wishing and hoping. It's about a deep alignment of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and a trust in the unseen forces that are always working in our favor.
It's about becoming conscious creators of our own reality.
Exactly. And remembering that we have the power to shape our lives in ways we never thought possible.
So to wrap up this deep dive into manifestation with Chosen 144, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think it's this. You are a powerful creator. You have within you the ability to manifest your dreams into reality. Trust in the process, cultivate your faith, and never give up on the magic that lies within you.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll leave you to continue your own journey of manifestation. Until next time, keep those intentions high and watch your dreams unfold.